I can help you on some of the app things and those kinds of things. What I'll do is, I like that you want to experiment on the marketing side.
Yep.
So I'll also put $1,000 towards it for you to experiment on the marketing side. And then my head of marketing is here, so if you pitched her well enough and you can convince her, she would be a great marketing mentor for you. So if she's in on that, we may get you a marketing mentor there as well.
Look at that.
Thank
If only
you.
we had a spotlight to just shine it on the director of marketing so you could go sit next to her for the rest of the show. So there you go. So it sounded like $2,000 and some mentorship. So
Yeah.
for TJ Haig from Trivlix, the
Thank you.
College of the Holy Cross. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll move into a bit of the retail sector next. Our next entrepreneur is from Clark University. And we all have our favorite type of jewelry, right? Well, today you're going to see some handmade jewelry. Goth, punk, and emo-inspired stainless steel jewelry, available in a wide range of styles and prices. Would you please put your hands together for our next entrepreneur, Sophie Lee, the founder of Sophpremacy.
Hi everyone, thanks for the welcome. As you just heard, my name is Sophie Lee and I'm here to present my business Sophpremacy, which provides quality jewelry for unique people. Thank you. Just a little bit about me before we get started. I've been an entrepreneur from a very young age. I attended my first ever pop-up market at the age of 10 where I sold homemade hair accessories, and now I attend pop-up markets to sell my handmade jewelry. My jewelry I would best describe as goth, which means I am part of the gothic fashion industry. Goth as a style experienced a trend resurgence in 2020, and in 2022, the US gothic fashion market was valued at $1.4 billion. It is projected to be valued at $2.3 billion by 2032. That's an annual growth rate of 5%. One of my biggest competitors in this market is other small jewelry businesses. That tends to be chainmail jewelers. As you can see up there, that's a chainmail piece up in the corner, and that takes a really long time to make. The jewelers have to do each of those individual links by hand, so that takes 5 or 6 hours to make and is sold for $200 or $300. Whereas this piece in the center, I made in 20 minutes and I sold for $30. It's the same style, the same visual effect, a much better price. Beyond the trend too, there are so many people that really see goth as more than a fashion. It's their lifestyle, it's who they are, and there is a whole community of people out there. So even when the goth trend dies, there will still be a whole market for me to tap into. The current problem with the gothic fashion market is that it is overrun with mainstream brands that offer really cheap and not very stylish jewelry. I've bought so many pieces from Spencer's and Hot Topic that have tarnished immediately and really irritated my sensitive skin. These mainstream brands also don't really align with goth culture values, which really like to support small businesses and local artists. And these mainstream brands are also really stuck in the past. They are not up to the current trends of goth jewelry. Unlike me, as you can see, I make really cute pieces that the modern goth really loves. And that's where I come in. I solve all of these issues. As I am a small business, I align with goth culture and its values. I also make everything out of stainless steel, which means that everything is waterproof, it is hypoallergenic, and it's extremely durable, and I can offer it at a really affordable price point. Since 2021, I've made over 1,400 sales. 650 of those sales have been at art and thrift markets where I have traveled across 5 states to sell to people. Over 300 of those sales have been in retail locations. I've had my jewelry up in a total of 3 stores across 3 different states. And then 440 of those sales have been on my Depop, where I have a 5-star rating and 176 reviews. And my customers really love my jewelry. They consistently quote the artistic vision, the quality, and the affordability as the reasons that they continue to come back to me and buy my pieces time and time again. This is Mandy Crimmins on the left. She is a rock singer and songwriter. She found my jewelry through her girlfriend, who is another goth fashion designer. I sent her girlfriend my jewelry because I thought she would like it, and Mandy liked it so much she came back to me 3 times and has bought 3 custom necklaces from me. She wears these pieces constantly. I am all over her Instagram. I am tagged in every single post, and it means a lot to me that someone who is in the music industry, which is the backbone of goth culture, loves my pieces so much, because that means that I have hit my target audience. I also have sent my jewelry out to a couple of influencers. This is Dre down in the corner there. She wears my jewelry a lot, and every single influencer I've sent my jewelry to has promoted my jewelry of their own accord and then come back and bought another piece from me. Besides sending my jewelry out to influencers, I do a lot of promotion on my Instagram. Up on the left, I take out paid Instagram ads. I find if I spend $10 on an ad, I will make at least 1 immediate sale of a custom necklace. I also rely a lot on word of mouth for my marketing. I find that my customers love to tell everyone about my jewelry because it is so unique, and they're really inspired to tell all of their friends about it. This is Vincent Goldmine in the middle. She is a drag artist in my hometown of Burlington, Vermont, and is constantly telling everyone about my jewelry. I also use Depop a lot for marketing. They push my jewelry out to a new audience for me, so I don't even have to pay for ads. I just have to make the listing, and they will reach people that want to buy my jewelry. I have a wide variety of products, but by far my most popular is my one-of-a-kind necklaces. I will spend about $7.50 on all of the materials to make it, and then I will sell it for $30, and that's a profit of 400%. The average price for my earrings is $10. I'll spend about $1.50 on the materials for that, and my profit is 670%. Today, I'm asking you guys for $3,375 to invest into my business. $1,150 of that is going to go to vendor fees for markets coming up this summer. It is crucial that I get to these places. It's where I make the most money and also where I make the deepest connections with my customers. This middle column is how much it costs me to attend each of these markets, and then the right-hand column is how much I anticipate making at these markets. I also am asking for $600 for the Dark Force Fest, which is coming up at the end of April. This is a 3-day music festival hosted by a goth fashion brand, so I know that my niche audience is going to be there. I need $600 so I can stock the proper inventory for this 3-day event, and I expect to make over $5,000. I'm also asking for $675 for marketing. I would like an ad budget of $100 a month for 6 months for Instagram ads. And I would also like an additional $75 to take out a half-page ad in the Dark Force Fest playbill. I'm also asking for $250 for my tabling display and $300 for a branding kit. With your investment of $3,000, I predict that I will make over $31,000 by the end of this year. You can see this giant uptick in May, June, and July, and that's going to be from all the markets I'll be able to attend while I'm out of school. Thank you guys so much for your time. If you would like to connect with me, I am Sophie Lee on LinkedIn. My Instagram is @Sophpremacy. You can also contact me at sophpremacy@gmail.com, and I am hoping to get my website up and running this summer.
Sophie Lee from Sophpremacy. Shark Sophie is asking for $3,375. What is your response?
Well, I think first of all, you'll see Brian and I at the Goth Fest, so look out for us. So that'll be good for you.
I'm excited to see you there.
I really was blown away. I just love your vision. I love how you really are focused on the ball, which is your customers, which is a crowded market, I can imagine. As you said, people are going to look for the jewelry and the Spencers and things like that. But if you have that higher quality and you've already pulled through, I think, a lot of the marketing, kind of the grassroots campaign, which I personally love and have been able to get into performers and things like that on a really bootstrap budget. So, I mean, I have one question for you. Is let's say that everything takes off like it will, and I have no doubt from what you said that it's very reasonable and could very well take off and $31,000 in profit. You're still in school, right?
Yes.
Okay, how are you gonna keep up with the quality when your brand really continues to take off?
Well, the biggest piece of that is that I am an entrepreneurship minor, so even when I'm doing school, I am working on my business. And something I mentioned earlier too is how long it takes me to make the pieces. I don't have to spend hours and hours and hours creating one piece. I can make 2 or 3 custom pieces an hour. So it's really time efficient. And another big thing too is that I've been doing so much marketing, so now I have a really loyal customer base. I don't have to spend time marketing. I don't have to spend time reaching new people. Once my brand takes off, I can really just hunker down and I only have to focus on making the pieces.
Yeah, so one more question then. Well, maybe 2. So what is your inventory of the off-the-shelf products, number 1? Do you have an inventory of those? So versus the custom pieces?
I do have an inventory of off-the-shelf markets. I will typically keep 50 pairs of earrings and 50 pairs of necklaces like ready to go, ready to take off to the next market. I do a lot of wholesale selling too, so whenever I'm like going to retail stores and stuff, I make those on like a monthly basis, and then I send those out in the same month. And I probably make an average of 60 or 70 pieces a month for retail
And
locations.
just one more question. Where do you ultimately see the split in your pieces? Where do you want to be in terms of custom versus kind of off the shelf? Do you want to be ultimately go to that custom side of things?
Yeah, that's absolutely like where my passion is. I love creating one-of-a-kind pieces to like fit my specific artistic vision.
I was just going to say, I think you answered most of the questions, and even the questions coming now, you have the answers right at the top of your head. Your inventory, the amount of time it takes, what you're going to do, and how you're going to scale or throttle back, which is a very impressive, well done.
Thank you.
So I don't have any more questions. Do you have any questions for?
I would just kind of echo what Mark said earlier. I think Mark and I are both probably a little disappointed you didn't bring stuff for us to wear.
Exactly.
If you find me at the Goth Fest, I'll have pieces just for you guys.
Good. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So also, I would like to say that you tricked us because we got the pitches, because they're so short, ahead of time to just see what was coming, and we got like a one-pager that didn't answer any of the questions, and then your presentation was amazing and answered all of our questions. So really nice job on the presentation. What about scale? So what about how do you work with the custom aspect, and as you mentioned, that goth really appreciates that, the custom kind of, I hate to keep saying the word aspect, but I'm going to keep doing it. How do you balance that with the need to grow a business so that it's sustainable and, ultimately profitable for you as you get out of school and want to grow it as a business and so forth?
Yeah, well, ultimately, my goal is to create enough demands where I can increase my prices, and I don't have to be creating tons and tons of jewelry so that, I can keep up with demand. What I want to be able to do is to be able to increase my prices. Ideally, I would be selling these pieces at 50% more, and that way I don't have to make as many individual pieces to make as much money, and that's where the scalability is, because if I price them higher, I will lose some of my customers, but I'll also be making more money off each piece.
And as you get into the more custom pieces, the higher end, you'd rather do fewer
Yes. Yeah.
and get larger.
Yeah.
That's where you want to, the artist in you wants to go in that direction. That would be wise.
Okay, we have some discussion going on now. How about another nice round of applause for Sophie Lee, Sophpremacy, Sophpremacy.com from Clark University, and you're from Burlington, Vermont.
Yes.
Wonderful. Have you been to some festivals up in Burlington? Do they have a goth festival in Burlington?
I haven't been to any goth festivals, but I've been to a lot of art markets in Burlington. There is a huge art, thrift,
Great.
and vintage market there.
Absolutely a great city for the art community. And what brought you to Worcester?
Clark. I just
There you
liked
go.
Clark. I just wanted to come here.
Wonderful. So Sophie's looking for $3,375. I believe that was her ask. What is your response?
I'll do 1,500.
We have $1,500 from Mark.
1,000.
1,000 from Margaret.
I think unfortunately, we can't give you what you asked for because I'm going to do 1,000 also, and you're going to be a little over your ask.
You just got more than you asked for. $4,000. Congratulations, Sophie. A great presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And it's great to have you here for Sophpremacy. Sophie
you.
Lee from Clark University. We have